Hi, in this slide, we are going to discuss why avoiding is not an adaptive or useful strategy to decrease worry, anxiety, or what ifs. So we all avoid, everybody does it. So I'll be honest, I've done it, and it's just something we naturally live and learn from. However, over time or upon reflection, you might notice that avoiding does give you a tiny bit of relief or decrease in certain emotions or body sensations in the short term, but while you've shelved it and put it off, the pressure remains. And sometimes what happens is that pressure continues to build. And then when we decide, oh, now I'm going to do this, what can happen is it can be this surge of feeling overwhelmed, paralyzed, frozen. I'm unsure where to start. I don't know what to do, how to start it, what to do first, and tons more of those types of thoughts. Um, sorry, my phone went off. So, anyway, try and be very mindful of that and be very aware of that if that is a fit for you. There are certain people that work really well under pressure, or there can be situations where I work really well under pressure and other situations I do not, and it doesn't work for me to leave it or have that task be done last minute. It works better for me to chunk it down and do a little at a time or plan out how I'm going to do it. And other things, yeah, it works last minute. So just check in with yourself, tune in, and just notice what tasks you're able to work well under pressure with, and other ones it doesn't help us. It often just can lead to some other forms of self-sabotage. So another important point to look at is when we've left things to the last minute, or we're putting it off, or now we've got to get down to it, it can trigger cognitive distortions, which we've already covered. It can also trigger self-defeating self-talk. So that can creep in where we start thinking like, how am I going to get this done? I'm useless. I'm no good at this. Why did I decide to do this? Um, why me? Poor me? All these things, all those types of thoughts just serve to increase the anxiety, increase emotional reasoning, increase feelings of fear or overwhelm. And it can even just be fear about starting it. So you can just start all of a sudden just building up all these emotions about starting the task. And those emotions can be so big that they interfere with actually getting down to task. So I think it's important to also play it forward. So we notice that you can avoid something and you get that short term little bit of like, I'm not doing it right now. However, just check in with yourself and notice, because I've noticed this where I've avoided something and then gone out with my friends or gone to do something. And because I haven't gotten to it and I'm feeling a bit of that pressure, but I am avoiding it, I actually don't enjoy myself as much as I would have if I had that task completed. I don't really get all the true benefits of that moment. And then in the back of my mind, I still have the weight of it sitting there. I still have some little thoughts percolating. I just don't go in there with just a clean, clear mindset to truly just be in the moment with whatever I'm doing and whoever I'm with. So just notice that how when those tasks are done, you truly enjoy moments more and you get more of those neurocognitive releases and benefits because you're able to fully feel what you should be feeling in those moments. So just remember that and think that through. Take some time just to reflect on it. And then also, when we are avoiding, it's really, really important to think instead of avoiding, to start really engaging in the task. So that's one strategy is like admit to yourself, okay, I'm avoiding doing this. Admit to yourself, you know what? I don't like the feelings I feel about this task. And so often it's those feelings you feel about the task that are interfering with your ability to do the task. So sometimes we need to kind of just separate that a little bit because it's not really about the feeling about what you feel about the task. It's about getting the task done. So it's not about whether I like it or not, or the judgments I've made about that task. It's about getting the task done. So sometimes our judgments and our criticisms about getting a task done can interfere with um, actually getting down to it. So just notice that and just try and separate that out a little, because that will help you in those moments. And it will be helpful just to tell yourself, you know what? I don't want to do this, but I'm just going to do 1 minute or 5 minutes, or I'm just going to do one little thing towards it. So even if you just pick something that you want to do and you just do 5 minutes of it, you will notice that A, you'll get some relief. B, those feelings you built up, they start to decrease immediately. And then sometimes we just get involved in the task and then we just get into a flow and a rhythm, or sometimes we complete it and wow, it really wasn't as bad as I thought. So another way to view it is, how are you going to feel when that task is done? A lot of times when that task is done, we feel so much better. There's this huge relief, there's this weight gone, all these emotions are gone, and sometimes we actually feel good about ourselves. We feel really great that, wow, you know what? I did a good job on that, or I'm happy with that. So, sometimes think of how you will feel when it's done, and because that can actually help motivate us to get down to doing the task and get through the task. And another one that I sometimes do is I think of something that I want to do, that I enjoy, I like, and I will plan to do it after a task that I don't like. So we call that kind of when thenning. When A is done, then I get to do B. So oftentimes I will do that, and sometimes it can even be like, okay, when this is done, then I'm gonna just go have lunch. When this is done, I'm gonna text some friends, or I might call someone on WhatsApp that lives in California, try and connect with them. But I have something that I'm looking forward to, I wanna do, and I know that I'll be happy doing afterwards. So think of that. So if there's something that you don't want to do, think of something rewarding after that. When that's done, I'll reward myself and do this other activity afterwards. So in the next slide, I am going to just kind of discuss and just give a brief overview about the faulty signaling that can be caused by avoiding.